All right. Hey YouTube, I'm Lucky, and in today's news video, we're going to be talking about the topic of Arc and Solar 3.0, their arrival into Destiny 2. Ever since the launch of the Witch Queen, we've had Void 3.0. It's been crazy, wild, exciting. I mean, it's really awesome in PvE, maybe not especially awesome in PvP. Let me know your thoughts about Void 3.0 in the comments. But we've been wondering, when will Arc and Solar come out? We did get an update from Bungie a while back. I made a news video covering that every subsequent season we would see Arc and Solar come out, so it would be one season, and then the next season we would have the full revamp of the old subclasses. But we didn't know which one would come out next. Which one would it be? Is Arc 3.0 or Solar 3.0 coming out next? And Bungie still hasn't announced it, but there has now been a leak. So spoiler warning, if you don't want this leak to come out to you, then I guess you'd have to click on this video now, but you probably do want to know, considering you did click on this video. So we're going to go ahead and see what that leak is. And here we go. We have Destiny 2 leaks on Twitter, a very credible source, almost always correct on all of their leaks. I've never seen any incorrect information from them. Solar 3.0 will release with Season 17. That's what we have. So big news there. It's going to be Solar 3.0 with Season 17, and then afterwards we will see Arc 3.0. So there it is. Solar is the winner. And now we need to talk about what really interesting things we can almost guarantee are going to happen, and we can speculate a little bit on the craziness that will come with Solar 3.0. And there's a lot of craziness when you think about it, because Void 3.0 brought Devour to all the classes, and Void 3.0 brought like finishers, giving you invisibility, so you can go invisible as a warlock, you can go invisible as a titan. You know, it brought a lot of craziness, right? Void 3.0, the grenades, suppressor grenade on all three classes, etc. So let's go ahead and go through the checklist of the things we know for almost certain will happen with Solar 3.0, and some, wishful thinking, right? So first up, Solar Grenade. Currently on Dawnblade, on Warlock, if you're using Dawnblade, easily the strongest grenade. One of my favorite grenades to use. I don't really use Warlock much, but one of my favorite grenades to use. Obviously, it has a good AoE size on it, and it has damage over time, so it's really, really strong. Solar Grenade on Golden Gun, Solar Grenade on Hammer Titan for PvP. PvE doesn't matter. That would be really strong. Even the Solar Titan has Thermite, which is a really strong grenade that a lot of people like to use, especially if you're trying to keep control of a hallway. So Thermite on Golden Gun, Thermite on your Warlock, potentially Trip Mine on Dawnblade, Trip Mine on Hammer Titan. That would be pretty wild. And then Fusion Grenades will actually be really good for Atheon. Fusion Grenades currently are only on Warlock, Solar Warlock, but now we'll see Fusion Grenades be on the other classes, which will actually be really exciting. One other thing along with this, we'll probably notice an increase to the class-specific abilities. So for example, with Void 3.0, we had Titans always have the Overshields. They're like the Overshield class. And so we see a significant increase in that, and with Void 3.0. So I imagine we'll see some similarities, maybe like sunspots, probably. This would be some speculation, right? Sunspots will probably be a little bit crazier. They did just nerf the damage to them with the launch of the Witch Queen, so they're not quite as lethal as they were before, but even if they don't make them more lethal, which I doubt they would do, they'll probably just make it more easily accessible or easily to apply them throughout the match, in PvP or PvE, whatever you're doing. So sunspots will probably get a bit crazier for Titans. Icarus Dash is currently on Dawnblade, and that will now be on Well of Radiance, which would actually be pretty sick. You'll be able to Icarus Dash around. That'll be a pretty fun ability. And we'll see what other crazy abilities we'll cross over from Well to Dawnblade. I mean, you've got like the healing grenades, but now you could have those healing grenades on the other classes. So it'd be really wild to see the healing attributes from like Well and Dawnblade, because Well and Dawnblade are so very like opposite in so many ways, but they're both solar, which is really wild to see. And then with Golden Gun and Solar Hunter, we have like precision. It seems to be a big focus on that subclass tree and all those trees. And throwing knives. I don't think that throwing knives would be like passed around from all the other classes. I can't see, warlocks can't be throwing knives, obviously, due to their melee. So probably be a focus on throwing knives in some capacity, or maybe an even crazier like precision for Golden Gun. So that'll actually be really exciting. I think that if that is the way things go, I think that sweat players and like Destiny 2 PvP tryhards alike will really enjoy that Solar Golden Gun, because if its focus is on precision, then it's, it creates a little bit of a skill ceiling with that. So I think that might actually be good if Bungie really wants to tap into that. I think they have a really good potential to make Solar 3.0 for Hunters be really sick. And then moving on, we have to talk about the exotics. Some of the exotics currently in the game are very specific to Solar subclasses, and those exotics with Solar 3.0 getting a buff are about to be nuts. Okay, we have Celestial Nighthawk, currently has not been used in a long time. I can only imagine Celestial Nighthawk's about to be absolutely crazy, right? Celestial Nighthawk would be good. Path of the Burning Steps, Phoenix Cradle, Hollow Fire Heart, Young Hamikara's Spine, Arthur's Embrace. I don't know how to say that for the Golden Gun with the throwing knives. All of those exotics are about to be nuts. About to go from being like really good exotics right now with Solar, to being like S tier and like the meta and like the stuff you want to use. Like for ad clear, you're going to use a certain exotic on this subclass, and for boss DPS, you will be using this certain subclass and a certain exotic. And that's leads me into the next topic we're going to talk about, which is that one thing that was a bit surprising with Void 3.0 is that all of the DPS supers shifted towards the Void classes, partly due to Devouring Depths being in the artifact. And I imagine with Solar 3.0 coming out, there'll probably be some sort of artifact mod that enhances Solar supers to turn them into DPS supers, so that way more people are more inclined to use Solar supers for boss damage phases and etc., melting champions, whatever it may be, right? And if that is the case, like right now we have the DPS supers are Tether, and you're using like Orpheus Rigs or Star Eaters, and if you're on Nova Bomb, you're using Nova Bomb, Devouring Depths. If you're on Titan, it actually isn't Void is the best. It's not bad, but you want to pretty much just use Missile with Cuirass Chest Piece because it's a little more simplistic. And so unfortunately, Titan with the current sandbox is still better on Arc, even though we're in Void 3.0. So moving on to that, we'll probably talk about Celestial Nighthawk again. That's got to be crazy. There's no way Celestial Nighthawk is not absolutely insane with Solar 3.0, right? It is literally an exotic that only helps Golden Gun and does insane damage. In the history of Destiny has always been pretty good, and it can be very hit or miss. If you invest everything into that Celestial Nighthawk shot and miss it, it is truly sad. And I'm sure we'll see some funny clips of people whiffing their buffed Nighthawk shots, etc. And then Dawnblade is actually pretty insane with Dawn Chorus, that exotic. So Dawnblade plus Dawn Chorus could be pretty nuts. Right now it's already really strong and really good, and I can only imagine if you spec'd into that, you could probably have a pretty crazy Dawnblade DPS super build that would be optimal for melting whatever raid bosses at that time. I mean, I guess technically they would be melting Rolk and all the other raid bosses that we've had for a while, and then also the new dungeon would be out, so whatever the new dungeon boss is, you'll probably be getting hit by Dawnblade plus Dawn Chorus. And then moving on to the Titan, I mean, it would be really funny if Solar Titan was just buffed in some crazy way and we see a bunch of Beyblade Titans spinning around doing damage, but I doubt we'll see that. It'll probably end up being Missile with Cuirass Chest Piece. It's still the best for Titan, unless Bungie figures out a way to create a really sick artifact mod that buffs hammers in some capacity so that you can use them for DPSing, but at this point in time, we don't know, but it would be kind of cool to see. So overall, though, the big takeaway I get from this with Solar 3.0 and my opinion of the continued favoritism of Warlocks from Bungie is that Warlocks are about to be winning more than ever before, all right? Warlocks are getting the combination of Dawnblade and Well of Radiance. They're like polar opposites. Look at the subclass trees of Solar Titan. They're not that different. Look at the subclass trees of Hunter. I mean, Blade Barrage is significantly different from Golden Gun, but not so much different as Well of Radiance to Dawnblade. Dawnblade is like fast, like ad clear, like crazy movement, and Well is just all healing and like territory control. And the fact that those two things will be crossed together, Warlocks are about to be winning so hard in Solar 3.0, and they've kind of won, not completely, but they won it largely with currently in Void 3.0. It depends on what your opinion is on that. Let me know if you agree or disagree with that, but if you're a Warlock main out there, you're about to be having a very, very good time next season with Solar 3.0 changes, because it would seem like things are going to get pretty crazy for Warlock. So let me know your thoughts about this video in the comment section below. And as always, make sure you subscribe with notifications on if you want to stay up to date on all the news in Destiny 2. Smash the like button. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Later.